Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. Since the last time we recorded a video, this is what the sun's been up to. It was on a hiatus of activity, and now it's back, producing an M-class flare. Coincidentally, as we did show prep. Anyway, that's what's going on with it. And by the way, thanks for tuning in to our YouTube exclusive content. Pardon the mess, I've got a Festivus pole in the background. See my Festivus pole back there? There it is. And let's get back to the daily space weather. So here's the last 24. This is the time frame we normally show, 24 hours. Hence daily space weather. You can see an M-class flare happening right up here. It's a long duration flare. We'll give you more info on the current state of affairs when we get to it. The radio flux now up to 106 solar flux units. And we do see it looks like a coronal hole high-speed stream arriving. We've seen a density spike here, so just in the past couple of hours, a little bit of activity occurring in the earthly geospace. So this is the last 4 hours here. I think we're going to see a little spike here in the pressure. There you see a little pressure uptick happening there, mostly in the northern hemisphere as summer is approaching on this side of the planet. Here is the ground magnetic perturbations map. We showed you Earth's magnetic moment from space. Here's Earth's magnetic moment from the ground. So this looks like the leading edge of a coronal hole high-speed stream arriving. We'll show you the real-time solar wind here in a moment. First, the KP index only at 1. And we may see this coming up here a bit in the coming, say, 12 hours. So moving to the real-time solar wind, you see the solar wind density went all the way from about 5 protons per cubic centimeter. I'll say 5 in it, about 5, up to about 19 protons per cubic centimeter. It looks just like the leading edge of a coronal hole high-speed stream. Also, we saw the BZ shift to a strong negative, and we saw the phi angle shift. So this strong negative BZ signal could relate to geomagnetic unrest or even a geomagnetic storm coming as a result of this coronal hole high-speed stream. We'll have to wait to see the density drop and the velocity come up. Current conditions of the velocity are only about 300 kilometers per second, quite slow. So if we do get a signal, it should be significant. Next, moving into magnetic data, here's the GOES magnetometers over the past 3 days. And we may see some very spiky readings here, as we typically do during coronal hole high-speed streams. Next, the heliospheric current sheet. Earth is solidly in a North Pole current sheet. This data is derived from 51 ground-based magnetometers, magnetometers on stereo A, and magnetometers on stereo B, if you're wondering. And here's our line-of-sight field plot as we watch the solar polar field reversal process happening daily on the channel. Sun's B field shown here in blue, North polar field shown in green, South polar field shown in red. Moving to coronal holes, we've got a very well-defined trans-equatorial North Pole-oriented coronal hole here rotating in. All that green area, that's North Pole. There's a South Pole coronal hole rotating out. Here's a visual of that in 193 angstroms. And we can expect some additional coronal hole high-speed streams from this in about 5 days or so. That may even appear to get more well-defined as it rotates toward the Earth. Next, we'll move to sunspots. Likelihood of flares has gone way up, and indeed we just had an M-class flare, the first of, well, quite a long time, actually. Coincidentally, while we did show prep. So again, likelihood of additional flares very high as Sunspot 3030 may be firing some rifle bullets toward the Earth. No, it's not 3030 caliber, it's Sunspot Active Region 3030. It'll be named today. It's quite significant. And it's a Beta Gamma class sunspot for sure. It's got a large North Pole, a large South Pole, and another large North Pole umbra. By the way, if you don't watch us on Twitch, well, we're not streaming today on Twitch, but we will be soon. If you haven't checked out our homepage, check it out. SmashOmash.com. You can find links to the Smash Team page there. There's a close-up of those massive sunspots as they rose this morning. Exciting stuff. So this one's North Pole, this one's South Pole, this one's North Pole. And we can expect additional fireworks from that. Today's featured product is Universum Liberate. If I could wave my magic wand like Geddy Lee, I'd set everybody free. So check out the merch, pick some up, support the channel this way with some sweet new gear for your summertime festivities. Universum Liberate, the motto of the Galactic Federation Special Forces. And here's the homepage. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. You can find our social media links there. Come give us a visit. Say hi to us on your favorite social media. And here's this M-Class flare. The largest of more than a week, as we've seen the sun come right back up into quite significant activity here. So it looked like it was going to drop off there. All those grand solar minimum cultists were hoping, probably for some reason. Maybe they want to see whatever disasters they're claiming are going to happen as a result of the sun. No spikes in the proton flux yet, but that was pretty recent. So we could see some relativistic particles from that M-class flare. At the moment, not so much. Here's 94 angstroms. And you'll see right at the end of this video a sudden brightening of sunspot 3030. Sunspot 3030. Not looking disappointing. Next, we've got a star chart for you here briefly. If you're up before dawn, you may see Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus, Mercury all rising ahead of the sun. It's a planetary pileup. And here's a solar system forecast. We've got a gibbous waxing moon here. Let's advance this 1 week. As we approach a full moon in a week, we'll have a gibbous waning. As all the planets gather on one side of the solar system, and people become frightened because they think planets are going to kill us too. Remember, folks, important feature to understand about scams. The end is near is one of the oldest scams in the history of mankind. People have been saying the end is near since probably language existed. The sun and the planets are not going to kill you. All right, so here is our coronagraphs. Those are the wrong coronagraphs. We should be on today. There we go. There's today's coronagraphs, and we've got a spectacular CME. If you're wondering if it's Earth-directed, well, the answer is no. And here's some additional information on that from Lagrange 5 and the Soho-Lascaux C3. That's on the right. Here's Lagrange 5 stereo A's Core 2 coronagraph. Space weather beacon. And you can see that is well off the Earth line. Earth would be off in this direction from stereo A's perspective. That's for all you new viewers. And by the way, thanks for tuning in. We've got a little bit of additional content for you here today, since we've been gone for 4 days. We'll get this one uploaded to your screen as quickly as possible. How about the last 4 days in 171 plus colorized magnetogram? And here is the last 2 hours from the GOES 16 SUVI. Some spectacular wide field of view imagery here of that M-class flare. We'll let that play through one more time for the time and date stamps, and then we'll zoom in and close this thing out to get it uploaded onto your screens as quickly as possible. So there's some great imagery of El Sol, that M-class flare happening there, and exciting stuff going on at the Smash News Network. Least Busted Name in News. Thanks for tuning in, and may that solar wind be at your back.